You're 16, flat on your back in the driveway, fighting your mom's Civic to save her the $95 Jiffy Lube wants for an oil change. 20 years later, a buyer sits across your desk, reads through your books, and writes you a check for $549,900. Everything between those two moments is one trade. A trade where an ASE certification can raise your pay about 20%, and where 57% of mechanics expect to spend $60,000 or more on tools just to keep working. This is your life as a mechanic in America, level by level, and what the climb actually costs. If you like seeing how careers really progress, subscribe to Levels Deep so you don't miss the next one. You're 16, and your whole world is the size of the driveway. Your dad's Harbor Freight jack stands dig into the asphalt. The drain plug is seized solid. You put a crescent wrench on it, round off the head, and swear. Then you go inside and type how to extract a stripped bolt into YouTube. 40 minutes later, the plug cracks loose. 5 quarts of full synthetic and a new filter ran you about $45 at Walmart. The quick lube down the road wanted $94.99 for the same job. You pocket the difference and something shifts. You're not saving money, you're getting paid to learn. Next weekend it's the brakes, pads, and rotors on both axles. The shop quoted your mom $300. The parts cost you $80. Your knuckles bleed on the caliper bracket, but you tort the lugs to spec because a guy named Chris Fix said to. Your dad checks your work and nods. The next semester, you sign up for Auto Shop, one of about 50,000 students in an ASE Education Foundation program. Your instructor, a retired Ford tech missing a fingernail, tells you the trade pays. He leaves out that the median wage is $49,670. He leaves out that the bottom 10% make $33,660. You wouldn't have heard him anyway. Level 2, the Lube Pit. You're 18, working a quick lube chain. They started you at $14.90 an hour, and you needed gas money. Your office is a concrete trench. You stand in it while cars roll in over your head. Drain, swap, top off, vacuum, rotate. 15 minutes a car by the corporate stopwatch. 8 to 15 cars a day. The customer pays $94.99. You see $14.90 of it. That's the first time the math bothers you. The upsell script is taped to the column by the lift. Air filter, wiper blades, coolant flush. You learn to hold a dirty cabin filter up to the sun in the customer's window. The manager calls it the reveal. You sell 3 flushes your second week, and the regional buys you a pizza. Then you look up the BLS number for your slice of the trade. Other automotive repair and maintenance. Median $35,310, and you laugh. A tired tech named Marco trains you. You won't learn a thing here past oil and filters, he says. Drain bucket in hand. He's right. A drain plug on a 2014 Camry strips on you, and the manager docks the part from your check. Your back goes pulling a stuck filter. It goes again the next day. You find a Hazelwood Chevrolet career page about a lube tech who made line tech in 6 months. You print it and staple it inside your locker. In the slow minutes in the bay, you start studying for your first 2 ASE tests on your phone. You're 20. The dealership hired you because you passed A4 and A5, $62 a test plus a $34 registration, and because someone quit. Flat rate starts today, the service manager says, handing you a sheet. $10 an hour guaranteed for 90 days. After that, you eat what you kill. Your first week, you flag 50 hours and 40 clock hours. Brakes, rotations, an alignment, a battery, a wiper motor. The book says front pads and rotors take an hour to an hour and a half. You do them in 45 minutes. Your first real paycheck clears at $1,500 for the week. You text your mom a screenshot. This is it, you tell yourself. The math finally works. Then the shop goes cold. Next week you flag 22 hours. The week after, 18. The dispatcher, Kenny, who has never held a wrench, feeds the easy gravy jobs to his cousin and buries the warranty work in your bay. You learn what cherry picking means. You learn what a comeback is the day a customer rolls back in with a wheel torque problem that wasn't your fault, but is now your bay, and you eat the labor. Wrenchway says 60% of techs have thought about leaving. One Thursday in October, you become one of them. That same Thursday, the Snap-on truck pulls up. Mike has a roller cabinet with your name on it. $11,675. $29,1875 down, then $53.11 a week for 260 weeks. You sign. You just took on 5 years of debt to do your job. Mike claps your shoulder and drives to the next bay. That night, you sit on the box in the quiet shop. The drawers glide on ball bearings. It smells like new vinyl. You think about a retired tech who wrote on a forum that he could never have built up his $80,000 in tools without the truck. You think about that 57% who hit 60 grand. You don't sleep much. You come in the next morning and flag 54 hours in 4 days. The math works again. Then it doesn't. Then it does. That's the rhythm of the trade. Alexis comes in for a warranty tail light bulb, booked at 0.2 of an hour, 12 minutes of pay. It takes you 40 because the housing hides behind a trim panel that snaps every time. You eat the difference. Then Marco texts. He quit and went to Tesla, hourly. He started around $19.50 in the apprenticeship, and he's on the floor now at $25 to $32. Glassdoor puts the average there at $65,720. No flat rate, no dispatcher games. He sends a photo of his first paycheck. You stare at it for a long time. Level 4, the A-Tech. You're 27. You've passed A1 through A8, Master Automobile Technician. About 58,000 of you in a field of 887,000, 6.5%. You wear the patch. They move you off the maintenance rack onto diagnostic tickets. Glassdoor says master techs average $71,593, with the 90th percentile at $106,777. The BLS says the ceiling for the whole trade is $80,850. You're knocking on it. A 2019 turbocharged sedan comes in on a powertrain warranty. Intermittent misfire, cylinder 3. You scope the injectors. You read the freeze frame. You pull the timing cover. The engine has to come out. GM books the job at 8.6 warranty hours. You know what that means before you turn a bolt. It takes 3 days. 3 days with the car on your lift, you on your back, you on the phone with technical assistance. Later you read a GM tech named Daniel Kuhn in New York telling the same story almost word for word. Paid 8.6 hours for 3 days of work. In 2021, Illinois passed a law forcing manufacturers to reimburse dealers at customer rates, and tech pay there went up 3 to 7%. Your state never passed it. You finish the engine at 6 on a Friday. It runs. You flag 8.6 hours for 24 hours of labor. The customer pays $95 an hour at the counter. The warranty pays the dealer $68. The gap isn't personal, it's built in. The service writer who hands you your work doesn't know what a cam phaser is, and he still controls your paycheck. You start spending 3 hours a night on the diagnostic network forums. You bid on a used Snap-on Triton scanner, $5,995, and the truck adds it to your tab. Your Ford FDRS subscription jumps from about $900 to $1,200 a year. You pay it. Toyota TechStream is another $480. You pay that too. Your tools are out earning your kids' daycare. You're 34. You passed L1, Advanced Engine Performance, on your 4th try. You added L4, the ADAS Specialist Cert ASE launched in 2022. The shop makes you Foreman. Glassdoor says Foreman averaged $82,739, with the top tier at $121,929. BMW techs in the 90th percentile clear $148,985. Mercedes techs, $137,715. Out of every tech in the country, only 2,289 have ever earned ASE World-Class Technician. A Mercedes comes in with an intermittent no start. 3 shops have already thrown parts at it: a starter, a fuel pump, a control module. On a cold morning, you scope the CAN bus and watch the body controller drop off the network for 90 milliseconds every time the wheel turns left. You trace the harness to a chafe point under the steering column. A $2 wire. 8 hours to find it. The customer pays for one. You eat the rest against the risk of a comeback, and the owner signs off because you're the only person in the building who can do this. You calibrate ADAS systems now. $250 to $500 a system at independent shops. The Autel MaxiSys Ultra runs $3,999, then $899 a year after that. You took a 7-day hybrid course at AC/DC's Up Your Voltage for $5,500, came back and built $40,000 in EV diagnostic work in your first quarter. None of it shows up on your check. At a conference, you meet Aaron Stokes, who owns a shop in Nashville. He tells you the bank pulled the construction loan on his second location in 2009. He pivoted. He survived. He runs an academy now, mentoring techs like you. He looks you in the eye and says, "The wrenches will not pay you what you're worth. Ever." You think about that the whole drive home. Eventually, the wrenches go on the wall, or they break you. Level 6, the owner. You're 41. You buy a 4-bay independent from an owner ready to retire. The same way Sal Garcia took over Fremont Auto Center in 2017, you sign for $900,000, $200 down, the bank carries the rest. Your first Monday as the owner, the only thing you do all day is adjust the thermostat. You don't fix cars anymore. You manage 3 techs, a service writer, parts vendors, the Napa Auto Care contract, the garage liability insurance, and a Google Ads account. The national average labor rate in 2024 is $142.82 an hour. You set yours at $149. A survey of 618 shops put average revenue per bay at $203,000, so 4 bays should bring in around $800,000 a year. BizBuySell lists the median shop for sale at $908,605 in revenue. You're right at the median. You learn a new set of numbers: effective labor rate, hours per repair order, comeback rate, and the 3 C's on every ticket: complaint, cause, correction. You read a profit and loss statement the way you used to read freeze-frame data. The loaded cost of a tech is $45 an hour, and a 65% labor margin needs a posted rate of at least $128. A buyer will pay about 2.69 times your seller's discretionary earnings. The median SDE on a sale is $195,181. Yours is $230,000. For the first time, the math is yours. You're 56. The buyer across the desk is 34, a tech with 2 ASC master patches and a wife who runs his books. He's putting $200,000 down, the same number you put down 15 years ago, and signing for the rest. You shake his hand in the office where the coffee machine still doesn't work right. You walk the bays one last time. The lifts are the same lifts. Bay 2 still has the oil stain shaped like Florida that was there when you bought the place. In the corner of Bay 1 is your old Snap-on box, the one you went into debt for at 20. Paid off 28 years ago. Still rolling. The drawers still glide. There's a kid in Bay 3, 19, first month as a lube tech, making $14.90 an hour, draining the oil on a Civic. He doesn't look up when you pass. He doesn't know you. He doesn't know the guy who just sold the building started exactly where he is, on a driveway with a strip plug and a YouTube video. The check for $549,900 clears on a Tuesday, on top of 15 years of owner's draw, on top of the paid-off house and the truck, on top of the back surgery you had in 2019 when you became one of 9,940 injury cases that year, on top of the marriage that survived and the co-workers that didn't. The trade loses 70,000 techs a year, mostly to people walking away. The average tech is 40. The average time at one shop is 1 to 2 years. 60% of the people in your old bays are thinking about quitting right now. You didn't. You just kept showing up. That was the whole trick. The kid in Bay 3 wipes his hands on a rag and moves to the next car. You drive home. The house is quiet. The garage is empty. You don't own a single wrench anymore.